Hey friends, it's me Alyssa and I am back with another episode of Live in Local Atlanta. I am here with my super defensive friends, super savvy, super resourceful friends. I'm here with co-founders Cole and Vanessa Parker of Divas In Defense. I absolutely love their company. They are all about self-defense, and there's nothing wrong with having a couple tricks up your sleeve in case you get in a situation. Am I right?
Absolutely.
I love it. So I first and foremost just want to talk about Divas in Defense. You guys have been in business for quite some time now, so let's talk about the business first.
Okay. Well, I'll kick it off. So 2010, it was actually founded by me and my brother. We started because we grew up in a house where we witnessed domestic violence firsthand. And when you're in that type of situation, either you become a perpetrator, doing it perpetual of creating and forming and doing domestic violence, or you become an advocate against it. Unfortunately, we became the latter. So in the last, now going on 14 years, we've been doing this since 2010. We've been able to do a lot. I mean, even across the world, as far as Kuwait and cruise ships and you name it, we've trained hundreds of thousands of women worldwide, and it's a big thing to be able to touch that.
I love that. I love that. Now, we've heard a little bit about the history. What are some of the products you offer to people?
So we offer our service at classes. So we do group classes, corporate classes. We even have our own Girl Scout patches. So we do Girl Scout troop classes and safety products. So anything from stun guns to pepper sprays and teaching people how to use them. Oftentimes, many women have never even seen or touched them before. So we teach them how to use those non-lethal weapons.
How do you teach somebody how to use pepper spray without spraying it?
We have one that has water in it. And so we have a target and we have water canister that's exact same size so you can kind of get the feel of it, which is what sets us apart from a lot of other people because we do teach. A lot of times you can't teach pepper spray because you'd have to actually leave that room if you did. So we use it with water.
Yeah, I have to say, my only experience with pepper spray was years ago. I was in a library, and somebody had a pepper spray can in their bag, and I don't know what happened. It exploded in their purse, and nobody knew what was going on. Everyone's coughing. I'm fine. I'm just going to keep typing. I'm fine. And then I was the last person to leave the building. I don't know why. I was like, everyone else is sick.
What's wrong with that?
I was like, I'm fine. And then I was like, whoopsies, big mistake.
Yes, pepper poisoning.
Right. So that stuff does work. It's legit. Even if it's not in your face, it does work. I can say that.
Yes.
I want to talk about, let's go into detail about some of these classes you mentioned. Can you talk to us about, a class, basically? Walk us through a day-to-day class or what goes on in a class.
Right, so we start off with some tips and tools that people can use. Something as simple as knowing where you park. Oftentimes people park and they're on their phones, they're not paying attention. So we start off with simple tools and tips, and then we start with strikes and some releases. So some of our releases have cool names so that they can remember. Want to jump in?
Sure. So a release is more involved in like what if scenarios. What if someone tries to strangle me? What if someone grabs you from the rear? Those are releases, getting out of those particular holds, right? So we have everything from oh no you didn't, which is a rear release, which is really a high snap turnaround. It has a lot of attitude, which we really get a lot of engagement from. We have rock star, which is another one, and those just name a couple of what we do offer. It's just really for purposes of memorization and recalling the move. If not the words, you say the words out loud, it's easy to recall the move, and that's really what we want.
And a lot of it is really permission to fight back. Because we can teach all these tools, but a lot of times women come to our classes and they're too nice, they're in situations they don't feel like they have the power to fight back. So that's a lot of what we teach as well.
Right, and also that you're worth it. You're worth fighting for. A lot of times that's really another thing that we actually deal with is people who like, well, I don't want to hurt anybody else. If someone's trying to hurt you, do what you have to do.
Yeah, seriously. Not today.
Right,
Not
do what you got to
today.
do. Rip out eyes, rip off ears, I don't care. Break bones, do whatever.
I have to ask, when it comes to self-defense classes, is there really a key difference between if somebody were to, say, take kickboxing or a karate class versus a self-defense class? Can you kind of explain the difference between those?
I could definitely do that. So they all categorize in certain purposes, correct? So kickboxing, even though it does give you some elements of strikes, it doesn't really go into the technique side because it's really for cardio, okay? Most martial arts are determined for tournament style. They're really not really meant to like kill someone or hurt someone. They're really meant to just score points in a tournament to the best of your ability. Self-defense is really just that. It's something that you may find yourself in court for. It's something that someone's trying to end your life. What are you willing to do and what are you going to do? So ours is a little bit more into breaking bones and maiming in some cases and, whatever you have to do to get home safely because your loved ones want you home. So I would say that's the easiest way to categorize the three. But some of the strikes and kicks and moves, some of them are identical, right? But it's just about the premise behind it.
Changing the mentality.
That's correct.
Can you talk about, so there are other, I guess, self-defense programs out there. What makes, like, a self-defense program a self-defense program? Is there, like, a certification? Can you walk us through that? Because, again, I think a lot of people get so confused, or they think, oh, well, self-defense, I can go, again, take a boxing class, kickboxing class, a karate class. What makes self-defense stand on its own?
So just what Cole just mentioned about the difference, if you go to like a martial arts class, you're talking a belted program. So it's the same kick that you're going to do for 6 weeks straight or 3 weeks straight before you move on to the next level. A self-defense class will teach you things that you can use immediately. So more practical, situational based, like he mentioned the what ifs. So someone's trying to grab you or take you, you're going to learn those moves immediately. What sets us apart is we only help with women and children. And again, more of the empowerment part of the self-defense, making sure it's practical things that you can do right away.
Right.
Absolutely. I have to ask, what are three quick, easy moves somebody can do for release?
Okay. So it depends on the scenario, right?
Okay.
And I hate to backtrack on this statement whenever I'm asked, but it's vitally important, right? So is it a situation where, so I would say 3 tips. First, be aware of your surroundings. Okay. That alleviates a lot of attacks. I can't even name how many times I've heard, I knew something wasn't right when. Something about that person told me, I don't know, but all before the attack actually happens, okay? So, which leads to our second, trust your gut, right? So if you got that little uneasy, queasy feeling, do not ignore it. Be attentive to it. It's about, and don't worry about their feelings. It's okay. It's probably your first time seeing that person. Hopefully it's your last in that case, right? If you have to be a little offensive, be offensive. Do what you have to do to make yourself comfortable. And 3, I would say number 1 with that case is always be ready to protect yourself. I'm not saying walk around with your fist balled up, but if you have your keys in your hand, if you have one headphone in your ear, you can notice approaching danger, and you can at least react to it. So it's really not like, 1, if someone grabs you, grab their hand. Step 2, that's really not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is really just preventing it before it happens. Establish your boundaries, situational awareness, and things like that.
Absolutely. And what would you say in terms of you said corporate classes, you teach daily classes, then Girl Scout classes. How can people go about getting that set up and finding out information behind that?
Yeah, so our website is divasindefense.com and on all social media at Divas in Defense. We have classes that we post on social media, and then we, of course, our private classes. So people can contact us, and we'll come out to them.
That is wonderful. Any last words for if people are out shopping or in the holiday season still, and, any last words for keeping them vigilant and aware during this chaotic and hectic time?
Well, I would name a couple things that we can do. Everyone always teases the girlfriend with the big truck because she's so little in a big truck. That's your shopping buddy. Why? Because you could get all your shopping out the way. You guys could put it in a vehicle together and leave. Never be the one who shops, put something in the trunk, go back in to finish shopping, put stuff in the car, go back in. Mm-hmm. Why? What you do, you allow someone who's being attentive to see what you're doing and see your movement, and in some cases maybe even follow you home, right? Another thing you could do is make sure that you have a list of things you want to do. You don't want to walk around with big dollar items until that's your last purchase. If you got to buy your child that new MacBook, let that be your last purchase on your way home, not your first purchase in the mall, okay? Next to that, just be aware of your surroundings. I can't say that enough. And stay off your phone. Your freaking phones get you every time. You don't know what's going on. Your head is down. We actually do a thing in our corporate training where I tell everyone pull out their phones, and everyone's down like this on their phones. And I just say, just type what I'm saying. And I just babble. But I take out a rubber gun and I take it around the room just like this, back and forth. And then I holster it. Then I say, okay, what did I say? And then people read everything I said and say, who saw what I did? Everybody looking around like, I don't know what happened. I said, I pulled, and then one person be like, yeah, he pulled out a gun and shot everybody.
Wow.
And then that's the impact that we need to know. If you are going to text with your head up, not your head down.
That is very, very impactful. The visuals going through my head right now
Yes.
are truly like, whoa, I was not even expecting you to say that. And I think that really does set you guys apart. I think we see especially videos on Facebook and Instagram of these self-defense tactics, and they seem so unrealistic because it's two professionals. It's like, oh, I'm going to pretend to be an attacker, I'm going to defend. So it's incredible to hear kind of firsthand what you're doing in class and, breaking it down in such an easy way for people to understand. Now, you mentioned the website. Can you say it one more time?
Yes, divasindefense.com.
And that's also the same for social media?
Yep. All things at Divas in Defense.
I love it. I love it. This is Live and Local Atlanta. I am here with my amazing friends, Cole and Vanessa from Divas in Defense. And if you want to get exclusive conversations just like this, go ahead and download the free Odyssey app today. That's AUDACY inside the App Store. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and favorite Star 94 Atlanta. And if you want to stay up to date with me, you can give me a follow at itsme_Licity. I'll see you guys next time.